Welcome everyone to Cdev107 Child Growth and Development here at Santiago Canyon College. I am Professor D. I will be your instructor throughout this 4-week fast-paced course. We go over approximately 4 chapters per week, so you want to make sure to stay on top of your work. And I'm real good about sending emails out every Saturday morning to let you know what the expectations are for that week, as well as your instructions. They'll have detailed instructions every week for you to follow. So jumping right into the course, here is our home page for the course. Now you can see there's syllabus, modules, discussion, assignments, and so forth. At the bottom, Canvas support is an important button right here in case you're having any issues with Canvas. All of these, as you see, are also on the side. So you can get the syllabus by clicking the syllabus. You do want to go over your syllabus. If you have any questions, please email me. For today, I should say, I'm going to go over Module 1 in depth. So the syllabus will go over all the different assignments and so forth, but each module will just concentrate on that 1 week. So I'm going to dive into that for you. So I'm going to go ahead and click over here, modules. And I did want to show you because I had a couple of students asking about our textbook, which is listed under the syllabus and the course outline. And it's the Developing Person Through Childhood and Adolescence. It's the 11th edition, and you want to make sure to purchase Launchpad. Now, if you are okay with a digital version of the textbook, you can come down here where it says Launchpad Access and go ahead and Launchpad registration instructions. You can register and get a digital book along with your Launchpad. Now, Launchpad is a companion to our textbook, and that will house all your quizzes, midterm, final, the digital book. It has quite a lot of information in there, as well as videos that we'll be looking at throughout the course. So it is required. You must have Launchpad. So here's instructions you can utilize. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. And you can email over here. Do you see this little inbox button? You click on that and an email will be sent right to me. You also can utilize that to talk to any of your peers. So let's just kind of briefly go over modules. So in each module, and there's 4 for this particular course, you're always going to have your instructions. You have some videos. I want to point out, do you see the word view under the videos? These are instructional videos for Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, and Chapter 4. I want you to view these, so that's why you see the word view. I also want you to view PowerPoints for Chapters 1 through 4, so you'll see the word view. Coming down to the word submit, any discussion board must be submitted, and your quizzes must be submitted as well. Your assignments, any assignments for the week must be submitted. So anytime you see view or submit, you have to do that action before it will let you jump into the next module. So if you're not able to pop into module 2, you need to go back and look to see if you didn't view something or didn't submit something in full, okay? I always have the dates here for you as well. And again, we're going to go through all of these momentarily, a little more in depth, your assignments. And then I also always indicate or embed, I should say, videos that will help further your understanding of your readings in each chapter. So here there are 4 videos in Chapter 1. As you see, there is no view or submit. I am not requiring you to look these over, but again, to get a deeper, if you have some questions about the chapters, maybe pop in and watch a couple of these videos, and it might help you further your understanding for that chapter. Chapter 2 has 1, Chapter 3, I have 4. These are some really great. Again, they're all 2 to 7 minutes. They're not very long. And then Chapter 4 is a very interesting chapter, all about birth and prenatal nutrition, all the effects of everything in life that we go through, how it stresses or how it affects the fetus. So anyway, there are 5 under Chapter 4. But again, these aren't required. They're not mandatory, but they are there to further your knowledge about the readings. So jumping into Module 1, I will always list the instructional video, which you're listening to now, I'll always list the learning objectives. So after you read the assigned chapters, you should be able to, and there's several listed for each chapter. This week we'll be covering chapter 1 through 4, and I wrote down a brief summary of each chapter for you. So chapter 1 summary would be the science of human development seeks to understand how and why people, and that's all kinds of people everywhere of every age, how they change over time. The goal of this science is ultimately to help people reach their developmental potentials. To begin to understand the science of human development, we are going to dive deeper into elements of basic definition of developmental science. That is, the how and why of development, the kinds of people included, the power of developmental context, as well as the research strategies and methods to study change over time. Chapter 2, this chapter will describe 5 major theories that are central to the study of development. It talks about behaviorism, social learning theory, cognitive theory, social cultural theory, and evolutionary theory. They provide insightful information about human development. Each has led to new insights and alternate interpretation of human development. That's a very interesting chapter. Then we're going into chapter 3. To understand development, we must first begin with the genes. This chapter anticipates and explains some of the mysteries of hereditary and environment and nurture versus nature, right? Going behind the scenes to reveal not only what genes are, but also how they work. Genetics raise many ethical issues, and we will explore those too after covering the basics. In chapter 4, this particular chapter examines the dual themes of development. So every topic, we talk about prenatal development, the possible toxins, birth weight, medical assistance, parent-infant bonding is directly relevant to the 150 million babies born each year. Universal patterns are also described within this chapter. Yet each pregnancy and birth is so very unique. You all can learn from each different pregnancy and birth. And if you have a baby, expect to be awed by your personal miracle. That summarizes chapters 1 through 4. And then in every module, you'll see to be successful, to complete this module, you will need to, and this is what you really want to pay attention to because these are all the assignments and discussion boards and quizzes that are due. So you always want to view the instructional video, which provides expectations for the weekly assignments. That is what you're watching or listening to right now. You're going to read the chapters. This week, we're covering chapters 1 through 4. So in your textbook, digitally or hard copy, you want to read chapters 1 through 4. You want to also look over those PowerPoints that I provide for those chapters for you. And again, this is all embedded. All of this is embedded in Module 1. You want to complete quizzes 1 through 4 by Sunday, January 9th. So every single week, the quizzes are due by Sunday. They are worth 10 points each. So keep in mind, there's some things due, your discussion boards, the original thread is due Wednesday, and the 2 peer posts is due Saturdays. And then all your assignments are typically due on Saturday as well. So Sunday, the quizzes are due. I try to kind of separate the days for you. So you'll remember you have until Sunday to take your quizzes. Again, the discussion board, normally there's only one board. This week we have 2. One is creating community, which basically you just answer a couple questions that I ask of you, just so the class and I get to know you a little better. And then we talk about theorist in 1B. So there are 2 discussion boards this week. The questions that I ask that you answer are due by Wednesday of every week. That is the discussion boards. Every week, your original thread is due by Wednesday, and it must be 100 words or more. And then 2 peer posts, that's you going in and talking to 2 of your peers about their point of view and what they've spoke about their posts. That has to be 50 words or more, and that's due by Saturday. Okay, but in order to receive any credit at all, you have to post that original thread by Wednesday so everyone will have information to look at so they can post by Saturday, their peer post, right? So again, if you don't post by Wednesday, you will not receive any credit for that discussion. You want to make sure that you receive credit. So please post your original thread by Wednesday. And then assignments this week, we have KWLs, chapter 1 through 14. I'm going to show you that. K stands for what I already know. W stands for what I'd like to learn. and L stands for what I learned. So you'll be writing that information for each chapter, and that's called a KWL, and that is due weekly. This week is chapters 1 through 4. Then the last assignment for this week is a parent interview. Will you be asking some questions of a parent or a grandparent? So let's go ahead and dive into those, discussion board and the assignments now. Again, I'm going to go back to the module. We have module 1 we are talking about now. So let me go down to module 1. Here are my PowerPoints. Here's the first discussion. So the first discussion is creating community. So these are the questions you're going to answer. You're going to list 4 to 6 objectives or adjectives that describe you. You're going to tell us about your hobbies or areas of interest and what excites you about taking this course and what is one thing you are hoping to learn during this course. So this is just allowing us to get your classmates to get to know you a little more. And again, this creates a community. So please answer these 3 questions by Wednesday. Now, you can include like insight into who you are, maybe your family or who you live with currently. You could be creative, and you can also add a picture of yourself or you doing your favorite hobby or your family. And this right here tells you how to embed the picture into the discussion. Again, the original thread is due by Wednesday, you answering these questions, and then you need 2 peer posts, you looking at 2 of your peers that answer these questions, and that's due by Saturday. And I will always list the rubric, I'll always give you a rubric, and it'll tell you exactly what I'm looking for. And that is creating community. That's an easy one, talking about yourself. And the second discussion board this week is about theorists. So it's really, you can read this caption. I'm talking about different theorists like constructivists like Piaget and Vygotsky. We talk about Erikson and Freud and Skinner and Pavlov. So there's several different actual theorists that we'll be covering in chapter 2. So this particular discussion board focuses on chapter 2. So after reading chapter 2, you are to create a thread answering these questions. So you'll answer which of the theories briefly described in chapter 2 are most interesting to you. After you're reading about it, tell us why you picked that and what more information would you like to know about this theory? And then on one aspect, based on the description of research given in chapter 2, do you think research is credible or is it flawed? Why do you think that way? And then the last question you need to answer is what excites you about this chapter? What intrigues you? And then after you finish answering all those by Wednesday, you have until Saturday to respond to 2 of your peers. Again, it's the same rubric that is located in here for you. Those are your 2 discussions, and then of course your quizzes, you'll just pop on these. Quizzes, remember, are always due by Sunday. And your assignments, let me show you the template for the KWL that I provide for you. You need to type in this, and this is what you will submit. So you can type right in here. You'll type in your name, and this is reflecting on the chapters. So how is this information valuable? What will it be used for? Do you think outcomes reflect your personality? This is your summary of thoughts. So let's go ahead and go into this first. The K is what I already know. The W is what I'd like to know. And the L is what I learned, right? Facts of what I learned. 1 stands for chapter 1 all the way across. 2 is chapter 2. 3 is chapter 3. 4 is chapter 4. So again, you're going to write what you already know, what you'd like to know, and what you learn, some facts that you learn about this chapter. Then down here, summary of thoughts. That's when you're going to reflect. So what you see up here, you'll be answering right here in the short little paragraph. Again, how is this information valuable? What will you use it for? Do you think the outcome reflects your personality? So that is what you will be writing in here. Make sure to indicate those questions, your answers in here, because a lot of times I will just get this portion and you will not receive full credit unless you answer that as well. So you want to make sure to complete the whole assignment. So let's minimize that. Let's go back into the last portion is the parent interview. Under the parent interview, you are going to interview a parent or grandparent, you're going to learn a little bit more about their parenting style. What parenting style do they utilize? What